Back to the daily grind. The channel's getting false flagged by triggered trolls, so make sure you subscribe to the new channel. Let's get to the MMA news. Jon Jones is breaking his silence on his post-fight Octagon interview. He's talking about when he shouted out Daniel Cormier and, you know, that heartfelt moment right there, and also talking about calling out Brock Lesnar. I'm going to get to this quick because Dana White Tuesday Night Contender Series is coming on. You know I got to recap that shit. There's no UFC or Bellator events for the next 4 weeks while we wait on McGregor-Mayweather, which happens in 3 weeks. So this is what Jon Jones said. Daniel, for the most part, he's a fierce competitor, a pretty good individual. He said a pretty good individual. A stand-up athlete, stand-up champion, and I know how important our fight was for him. It was a legacy fight for him, and I just didn't want a win or a loss to determine his legacy. I wanted people to see him for the guy that he actually was outside the octagon. I think that's equally as important. So I just thought I'd shed some light on him and who he was. It was just that. And then he went on to talk about the Brock Lesnar call out, and he said, I don't know, I think it may be a while before Brock Lesnar is eligible to fight. So right now I'm kind of just waiting to hear from the UFC and some different ideas outside of him, which is actually good to hear because honestly, I don't want to see Jon Jones have to wait 6 months to fight Brock Lesnar. He just got eligible to fight again after like pretty much a 2-year layoff. He took a year off, he didn't take a year off, he was suspended or whatever, out for a year, fought OSP, out for another 11-12 months before he was able to fight Daniel Cormier. So we've only had about 2 Jon Jones fights going on 3 years. So I want to see him fight soon. You know, could Jon Jones fight Madison Square Garden? Why not? In 2 months, Jon Jones could fight again in 2 months, or definitely at the end of the year. That would be dope. At the end of the year, I hope we don't have to wait like 6 months per each Jon Jones fight. I mean, I don't see him being as active as like Tyron Woodley or Demetrius Johnson or something. You know, those 2 champions are very active. Or like even Joanna Jędrzejczyk, who's active. Or, you know what I'm saying? So I hope since Jon Jones is just now coming back, he really, you know, he's ready to get in there and fight the contenders. If this Brock Lesnar fight's not really gonna, you know, if they don't say, all right, guaranteed Brock Lesnar fight in 6 months, then I'll be fine with it because that is a super fight, huge payday. That's a huge fight. But if it's just a question and we gotta wait and we don't know if Brock Lesnar can come back, and you know, I don't want to have to wait, you know, another year before Jon Jones fights. So that's cool. And Alexander Gustafsson, I'm thinking, would get the shot. It would be a huge rematch. It's the guy that pushed Jon Jones to the farthest. I mean, that would be a dope fight. Besides Alexander Gustafsson, you got Stipe, the heavyweight champion, and I don't think that's realistic. So we got Alexander Gustafsson, and that's it, because Jimmy Manuwa, he was in line, but he just got finished by Ozdemir, knocked out. So Alexander Gustafsson versus Jon Jones, hopefully we can get in December. That would be really cool. It would be pretty active for Jon Jones. I mean, it would be 4 months between fights, and I think that's reasonable. So, and as far as the Daniel Cormier thing, man, it's just everything, you know, I've agreed with that because it's just everything I said. I mean, Daniel Cormier, just because he lost to Jon Jones twice, yes, he's not the greatest fighter of all time because he can't beat Jon Jones, but at the same time, he's still up there because he's undefeated at heavyweight for 13 fights, and he was undefeated at light heavyweight to everybody except for Jon Jones, including the guy that gave Jon Jones his biggest test, Alexander Gustafsson. Daniel Cormier beat that guy too. So I do need to slow down. I'm gonna start doing that shit. Okay, so slow down. So Daniel Cormier is definitely a champion. He was a champion. His legacy's not tarnished. Or, I mean, when I say it's not tarnished, I mean it's not entirely ruined because he couldn't beat Jon Jones. Daniel Cormier still motherfucking needs to be respected. I mean, if you want to make fun of him, that's fine. But as long as you know that motherfucker was a champion, just like Jon Jones said, man, and not only a champion, a stand-up athlete, a stand-up man. So it is what it is. Let the hitters know what the fuck you think about Jon Jones's future in the octagon. Who's next for Jon Jones in the comments, dude? Hit subscribe and thumbs up too, motherfucker. Fuck you, Tam Mac. 2 men meet on opposite sides of a river. One man yells to the other, "Hey, I need help getting to the other side." And the other man yells, "You are on the other side, jackass!"